It's recording. All right, what's up, guys? It's Guys Being Dudes with a special college football episode, and we're going to be doing these throughout the college football year. Hopefully Jake will be back maybe next week or the week after. He's still sick, so it's unfortunate, but right now it's just me and Larry getting through this and doing it. First to start off, big news. The Big Ten is back. Their games will start officially October 23rd, and that they're playing an all-conference schedule as well, just like the SEC. And then SEC football starts back next weekend. And so not many out-of-conference games to look forward to shake up the rankings, but the SEC Powerhouse Conference is back in action, so I'm excited. I'm a big college football guy. Me and Jake we're both big college football guys. I know Larry's a big NBA guy. And what else?
College basketball. Probably.
College basketball. There you go. So Larry's a big
every now and then.
Yeah, Larry's a big basketball guy. Me and Jake are big college football guys. But basically, this is it, and then we're gonna give our picks, which will start in a second. But I'm just gonna explain. We're gonna announce the news. These episodes are released Fridays and Mondays on our YouTube channel at Guys Being Dudes. And so the link on our Instagram is going to be in our bio to the whole channel. And we have other stuff like Larry has a movie review that should be released either tonight or tomorrow, depending on when all that gets edited and done. And then Jake should start up with a barbecue review hopefully in the next week or so, depending on how he starts to feel. But basically, getting right into it, college football picks, we've got Tulsa at number 11, Oklahoma State. Both teams haven't played a game yet, so I'm going to go ahead and start with I'm going to pick Oklahoma State for this game strictly because Chubb Hubbard, he's basically going to run all over Tulsa's defense. 2,094 rushing yards last year with 21 touchdowns. I think it's a solid pick. Tulsa's not a very strong team. What you got?
I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma State, too. Just, Mike Gundy is the head coach at the helm. I believe this is first year, right?
No, I think it's his third, maybe.
Okay. I know he came from Washington State last, but
yeah,
like you said, Chuba Hubbard's a beast. With a name like that, you ought to be running over people.
Right, yeah, and Mike Gundy's still rocking the mullet, so that's nice. It's a big up.
So I'm going Oklahoma State as well.
Yep, and then Jake did send in picks. He has Oklahoma State over Tulsa. So unanimous there, all three. And so also throughout the year, I'm going to keep up with the picks of who's winning the picks, who's got a better record with picks and stuff between the three of us. And then at the end of the year, we need to decide sooner or later whether someone's going to get a prize or someone's going to get a punishment or something. So I guess we'll have to figure that out and talk about it.
Look, I don't really care for the punishment. I got money on myself to end up losing this.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe if you just stick behind me or Jake all year, you maybe slide in a couple and come out with a dub. We'll see how that goes.
I might get a little.
Yeah. Yep. So second we got Austin Peay. They're 0-2 against number 13 Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't played a game yet. And it's their home opener. I'm going to have to go with Cincinnati still. And also, interesting fact here, without playing a single snap so far this season, Cincinnati moved from number 20 up to number 13.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But Cincinnati's returning 16 starters, including 13 of the top 15 tacklers from an 11-win team last year. So I'm going to have to stay with them. Austin Peay 0-2. They got beat like 55-0 last weekend, so
Well, it's crazy with Cincinnati. Memphis beat them in the AAC championship last year.
Yeah.
They ended up, not being ranked to start the season, but they moved up to about 16 now. I think it's crazy Cincinnati's ranked higher than them. But one thing I think is kind of interesting, and I think I saw this on your notes, is that one of the Brentwood guys I think Jeremiah Oatsfall.
Mm-hmm.
He played basketball and football at Brentwood. He's the starting quarterback at Austin P, right?
Yeah, he played at Brentwood Academy. So I played against him one year. Did you play against him in basketball?
We never played Brentwood at all in my 4 years there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but he's a good athlete. In high school, he was a very good athlete. I think he played 4 sports. So he's athletic. But
But
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna have to
stick.
stick with Cincinnati on that one.
I'm going with Cincinnati as well. It's hard to it's really hard to pick against a bigger conference, especially when they're playing a mid major, just because the volume of athletes they get going to that school each year.
Right, right. And also Jake has Cincinnati over Austin P. And Jake, he adds a side note on here. Bearcats make the playoffs. I don't know whether to take that seriously or not. It's a bold prediction. With none of the big conference like the SEC or the Big Ten have even played a game yet. So,
well, I would have said if the Big Ten wasn't going to play this year, this would have been a year for the
for Power Five teams.
Well, right, but teams that are on the outside looking in of the Power Five, they would have had a better chance this year than before, I think. But now, I don't know. Big Ten boots that other
Yeah.
non-Power Five conference
Yeah, I
out.
don't think that's gonna work out for any Power Five teams. So we'll see. Next we have number 19 Louisiana. They're 1-0 at Georgia State, and they haven't played a game yet either. So it'll be Georgia State's home opener. Last week Louisiana had an impressive win over Iowa State, 31-14. Which last year Iowa State was ranked, I think, in the top 15 at one point during the season. So that was a big win for them. And also, fun fact, Louisiana is ranked in the top 25 for the first time since World War II. So that's big for them. I'm going to go ahead and pick Louisiana because I think they're going to come out wanting to keep this ranking and keep it going for them. Maybe move down in the rankings even more since no SEC teams are playing and no Big Ten teams are playing this weekend either.
Last year I just remember Georgia State beating Tennessee in football.
Yeah,
I think that was to start the season.
right. Yeah, well, I think it was either first or second game, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Georgia State's first game. I'll probably have to go with Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns as well, just because I'm not going to go against the team that beat Big 12 team, big conference, especially when they're mid-major.
Right.
They're the safe pick right here, so I'm going with Louisiana.
Yeah. And Jake as well has Louisiana. No comment for that one, but everyone's looking the same so far.
I'm sure we'll look the same up until about the UCF game, and I'm sure from there it'll be a little different.
Yeah. All right. Well, next we have Syracuse, 0-1 at number 25 Pittsburgh, and they're 1-0. So this might be different, but I've taken Syracuse. Honestly, I like what Syracuse returns on the defensive side of the ball. Last week they were only down 10-6 in the fourth quarter against North Carolina, which North Carolina is ranked like number 7 in the nation. So they held them to 10 points to the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh doesn't have overpowering offense, so I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I think Syracuse's offense can make enough plays and get enough scores to pull out a win somehow.
I would have said Syracuse as well if they were playing at Syracuse, because playing in the Dome is a little different.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh here. I think just smarter pick right now for me. That's all I can really say. I don't know much about either of the two teams other than where they play at. So
yeah. So Jake is going to take Syracuse over Pitt. His comment is Pitt is a choke team. So we'll see how that plays out this weekend.
Let's see.
Next we got USF, University of South Florida. They're 1-0 at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is also 1-0. For the first time, Notre Dame's playing in the ACC conference. So I'm going to have to take Notre Dame in this one. Ian Book last week, 19 for 31, 263 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception against Duke last week. Me and Jake both talked about it. We were very impressed with that performance, and I think this weekend Ian Book comes out hungry and prove that he's better than people say. I think playing the ACC is going to give him a chance to be a Heisman contender. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he has a chance. And I mean, Duke's a solid team. They can hold their own, but I think Notre Dame just had to get one game under their belt really before they get off and get going. So I'm going to have to take Notre Dame in this one.
All right. I saw something, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know you probably look at projections, but they said that Notre Dame's quarterback was like the number 2 quarterback coming into the school year, or he was like,
yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. You know, and you got someone that highly regarded. You don't want to bet against them just because, you know, a high skilled player like that can change the game instantly just by being on the field. So I'm going to go with Notre Dame as well. USF, right? University of South Florida. Florida. I don't see them being able to come out and keep up with Notre Dame, especially at Notre Dame.
Yeah. And Jake has Notre Dame as well, so everybody's on the same page there. Next we got number 14 UCF, 0-0. Haven't played a game yet. At Georgia Tech, 1-0. Georgia Tech last week, they're coming off a huge win at Florida State, 16-13. It was a close game. Florida State was projected to win that game, and Georgia Tech came out with a W, which is very impressive. And I know from the past history watching Georgia Tech play, they've always given teams problem, whether it's a ranked team or a non-ranked team. They've always been right with them. So I'm going to take Georgia Tech in this game, reaching out on a limb, see what they can do.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Georgia Tech as well, just because the fact they run the triple option.
Yep.
And that's one of the hardest offenses to stop in football because you got 3 options coming out of that play at all times. So I'm rolling with Georgia Tech as well.
Yep. Jake's going to take UCF. So we're betting against him there, and that's going to be a good one to watch. So next would have been Charlotte 0-1 at number 12 North Carolina 1-0. That game has actually been canceled due to COVID-19. And then another game that was postponed, but now I think it is canceled, was number 21 BYU, and they're 1-0 at Army, number 22, 2-0. So those games have both been canceled, so that's unfortunate, but got to make the best of what we got. So next we have number 17 Miami. They're 1-0 at number 18 Louisville, and they're 1-0 as well. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be the best game of the week to watch. And last year, Miami slaughtered Louisville at home, 55-27. One thing, Miami does lose and has lost a lot of players to the NFL draft and also players opting out because of the COVID-19. But I think the big transfer from Houston, De'Aaron King, I think he will lead his team to a victory this weekend, and they're going to end up beating Louisville. So I'm going to take Miami in this one.
All right, I'm going to go with the home team, Louisville. I just like them better in this matchup against Miami, even though with the loss they took last year, I think this year they're coming out firing on all cylinders and beat the Hurricanes at home.
Yeah. And also Jake's going to take Miami as well. He did comment Miami will never be back. And I agree with him. I don't think Miami will ever be back. But I think right now and last year was probably the closest them ever being back.
Right.
And then the last game that we have is the Citadel. They're 0-1 at number 1 Clemson. And Clemson's obviously 1-0. They beat Wake Forest last week pretty handily. Going to take Clemson here. Really no explanation needed on this one. Powerhouse Clemson. Dabo Sweeney, Trevor Lawrence, they're just going to roll right over the Citadel and not look back at it.
I'm going with Clemson as well. I'm not betting against Trevor Lawrence or Clemson. They're probably going to be in the playoffs this year, so
right.
I'm not playing with that.
Yeah. And Jake's also taking Clemson. He also did have a choice of words for Trevor Lawrence. And he hopes Clemson loses the Natty again, but he did take Clemson in this matchup. Smart pick by him. I think smart pick by anyone that would take Clemson in this. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll release another video Monday.
Yeah, I
Talking.
got a game for you. I want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
All right, Navy at Tulane. Who you taking?
I'm gonna take Navy. I like the midshipmen. I don't like them as much as Army, but I like their offense, and they've always produced good players going into the NFL, whether they're athletes or something like that. So I like them in that matchup.
All right, I'm gonna go with Tulane.
Okay.
I'm gonna go against you, see what happens. I know they're at Tulane. I know that didn't really make much of a difference, but I think Navy's on the decline. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think they started the season 0-1. Tulane came out 1-0. So I'm gonna take Tulane, and then we'll have to ask Jake who he takes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll text him, ask him to see what he's got. But yeah, so everyone go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment something you want to talk about or something, and we might add it in here. But the next episode will be on Monday, just talking about how the picks went and how we all did and what our predictions were and how it all looked out.
And we'll have to check out the new top 25 when it gets
Yep.
released.
Yep. And we'll talk about the new top 25 on Monday as well.
One thing is also, if someone wants to come on to be a special guest picker, we need to let them come on if they want to do that.
Yep. So anyone that wants to participate, we'll let you do it. Strictly college football talk on this show, but we'll talk about college football as long as you want, honestly.
That's right.
All right. It was good seeing you, man.
Sure.
I'll see you Monday.
Sounds good.
All right.